go into your cave and let that serve you. So many people resist the contraction and then don't get the medicine from it because they're too busy resisting it. If you resist it and fight the fact that you're contracting, fight the fact that healing stuff is coming up for you, fight the fact that my life isn't where I want it to be and I miss this opportunity, then you're too busy resisting the contraction to let it work for you. You've got to let it work for you. Otherwise, you're going to stay in it and you're going to prolong that process. And you're probably going to get slapped around a little bit by the universe because you're not listening. All right, friends. Welcome to the December Oracle Report. Immediately, what I see is a rubber band contracting and expanding, contracting and expanding. And what we really want to focus on in December is noticing where we are, if the rubber band is us, if the rubber band is our channel or our life path or what we're able to hold or receive. Tune into where your rubber band is, because we're going into a period of contraction, and our society tells us that we need to grow, 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 look at the bottom line, expand, expand, expand. And if you take a rubber band and you expand it too fast, it will break. And that's what happens to us. If we just expand, expand, expand without allowing for the time to contract, then we break, we get sick, we get burnt out, and then we're forced to take a break. So in December, really allow yourself to actually rest, to actually take a break, and to let yourself contract. Now, for some people, this might mean like you're really going through some stuff. But remember, if you let the rubber band contract, then you can expand a little bit more. And then it contracts and it expands a little bit more. And it contracts and expands a little bit more. And then before you know it, you can hold this bigger range. You're a bigger you. But if you just try to get there really quickly, it's gonna break and you're gonna find yourself in a precarious situation. In December, there's a lot of things happening in the unseen world, which is always happening. But specifically right now, our bodies are needing to rest in order to allow our raising vibration to attune in our physical bodies. Our vibration has been raising because we've been doing healing work. We've been focused on our goals. We've been doing our self-care practices. And our vibration has been rising, one, because we're doing the work to allow that to happen and we are raising our level of consciousness. Also, Gaia, the planet, Gaia's consciousness is raising. Since we are on planet Earth and we are a part of this ecosystem, our vibration is raising. Now, energetically, that can happen a lot faster than it can physically. The physical is denser. It has to molecularly shift and change. So if you've been having weird physical symptoms, I have been too, that could continue through December. Like my teeth have been vibrating. My body has been purging, like flushing, purging. I don't feel sick. I feel fine. It's just really interesting symptoms. But you have to let yourself contract, one, so that your physical body can do what it needs to do to upgrade and to calibrate to what it is that you want to step into. And when you're resting, when you're contracting, your guides are doing work on you. So you can set an intention or say like a prayer to invite your guides or your highest healing teams to work on you while you're sleeping. I always set the intention to wake up fully rested. I do a lot of work in dream space, meaning I visit people in their dreams all the time. I visit people in medicine ceremonies all the time. But I have a deal. Like, I'm willing to do that work. I'm not consciously aware of it, but people tell me all the time, and I know that it's happening. But I'm only willing to allow that to happen if my human is getting rest and if my human wakes up fully refreshed. So check in with your boundaries. But again, they're coming back to the divine work its magic behind the scenes. And let yourself go into the depth of darkness that is calling you right now. Seasonally, it's a lot darker for a longer period of time. It's an invitation to go inward. This is not the time to worry about production and expansion. This is the time to put your head down and put your blinders on and focus on what you need to focus on, whether that's internally or like a project that you're working on, maybe creatively. But go into hermit mode, go into your cave, and let that serve you. So many people resist the contraction and then don't get the medicine from it because they're too busy resisting it. If you resist it and fight the fact that you're contracting, fight the fact that healing stuff is coming up for you, fight the fact that my life isn't where I want it to be and I miss this opportunity, or where is the XYZ, fill in the blank, then you're too busy resisting the contraction to let it work for you. You've got to let it work for you. Otherwise, you're going to stay in it and you're going to prolong that process. And you're probably going to get slapped around a little bit by the universe because you're not listening. And like, time in general is just quickening. Time is really speeding up. So if you feel called or guided or your body is telling you to take a break, do it. Because come spring, it's like a slingshot, because the rubber band has to be able to expand enough to then let go and catapult you forward. But if you're resisting the contraction, so you're not able to fully expand to the necessary place to slingshot you forward, you're missing it and it's on you. So anywhere that you notice like, oh, I've dealt with this, or oh, this is still here, or why isn't this happening yet? Anywhere that you're in resistance, look at it and go inwards. Okay, on love. What I'm seeing related to love is there's a lot of cultural and societal expectations around the holidays, around the winter holidays, to give, to show up a certain way, to give gifts, to give your time, to give your energy, to give your presence. And you might be expected or asked to give of yourself in ways or in times or in places that just don't feel true to you. They just don't feel true to you. So really look at that, because this is an opportunity to hold your boundaries and not dim your truth, not dim your light, not dim your authentic expression, because it's easier if I just show up this way, or it's easier to just go along with it, or it's easier to just dim down my truth and go along with what's expected of me because it'll hurt someone's feelings, or it'll cause a fight, or they won't understand, or they'll get mad. Fuck it. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. This is an opportunity to stand your ground and hold your truth and give yourself the love that you need first and foremost. That might mean doing something alone when typically you would do it with someone else. That might mean spending time alone when generally you would spend time with other people. That might mean skipping out on some holiday traditions because you just don't have the bandwidth right now. Or you're holding your boundaries to really be in relationships with people that meet you at the level of consciousness and at the level of relating and at the level of love and personal awareness that you have anchored in your life. And it's an opportunity to hold that boundaries and maybe let some people fall out, even if temporarily. Let some people fall out of your life temporarily. Let it ruffle some feathers, perhaps, because ruffling feathers is also a gift. If you being in your authentic truth ruffles feathers for other people, then they're their feathers to be ruffled. Great. But notice wherever you dim, wherever you contract, wherever you make yourself smaller. Because you can still be in a contracted state and be in your truth and be authentic and take up space. Now, you might be taking up space alone in your home to be with yourself, but just really look at what is expected of you versus what feels true to you. Because there's certain things that it looks like are coming to a head, and if you don't take the opportunity now to hold your ground and hold your boundaries from love, from a place of self-love and self-respect, and love for others as well, if you don't hold those boundaries now, you are choosing to loop in the pattern again. And you're just gonna have to go through that entire loop all over again. Or you can actually turn the wheel to get out of the loop and anchor a new beginning in your relationships. Whether it's in this particular relationship or another, but remember, if a relationship falls out of your life, it's because it's not aligned with who you truly are in this moment. But you have to remember and believe and have faith that a higher aligned relationship is going to come in and take its place. But that's where we have to be comfortable in solitude. We have to be comfortable with the relationship we have with ourselves. And so if you standing your truth ruffles feathers or causes some discord with people or causes a disconnect with people, take that as the blessing that it is, because it's a cord of attachment that needs to be broken, that needs to be cut, that needs to be cleared for you to be sovereign in your energy and attract aligned people, places, things, relationships, opportunities from that place. Because if you are still dimming to foster a relationship that is a relationship with your smaller self, then you are choosing to loop in the small self relationship instead of turn the wheel and expand and let yourself connect at a higher aligned place, in a higher aligned relationship, either with the same person because they're going to rise to meet you, or with somebody new that's better than you could have expected or imagined with this other person. So again, look at expectations versus your own truth and just face your true north. Face your true north, whatever that is for you. And there's a lot of pressure around the holidays, around the busiest time of the year, it's supposed to be the most joyful time of the year. It's also one of the most traumatizing or most triggering times of the year because people have lost family members. People grieve. There's a lot of grief typically in the month of December, where those who are single are expected to be in a romantic relationship and cuddling by the fire. Or if you're in a relationship, then, but it's not hunky-dory the way that I want it to be. Or you had a hard or tough childhood. And so it brings up these childhood memories that aren't fun, that you have to work through. Or you're expected to be in 10 places at once and you don't want to be in any of them. And then there's guilt. You don't want to let people down. This is an emotional time. So we're going to feel that collectively, especially if we're super sensitive and empathic, which if you're here, you probably are. Like, let yourself off the hook. Ask yourself, and this isn't a typical question that I would ask or use as guidance, but for right now, that's how it's coming through. What is the bare minimum that I have to show up for externally so that I can really focus internally? Like, how much energy can I pour into myself? And then what's left over? Okay, maybe I put 80% of my energy to myself and I have 20% left over. Prioritize. Where does that 20% get to be allocated? Maybe it's your immediate family first, and then like an intimate work thing, and then maybe a few gifts because it's fun to you. Or maybe you're like, I don't want to do any of that. Fine, but look at like the percentage of energy that you have, and if you're feeling low energy, you're probably not going to have much to give. Honor that. But look at how much energy you have, period. Look at how much you need or feel called to give to yourself first to feel full, And that might be, I only need 20%. filling into me right now to keep me full because I'm pretty full right now. Or you might need 80% to funnel into you to feel full because you are depleted. And then allocate from there, and you'll see very quickly where your priorities lie. Notice where you want to allocate energy out of obligation versus where you want to do it from a place of this feels good. And prioritize the this feels good, because the obligation is going to shrink you. You're going to probably dim because you don't actually want to be there. So again, face your true north and put your energy into the people, places, and things that feel good to you, or that feel like, okay, this is worth extra energy right now, even though it's going to be hard, because I'm committed to this relationship. I'm committed to growing this relationship. I am committed to facilitating change here. I am committed to showing up as the big me in a place where I used to dim, and this is a good practice for me. So I might be drained afterwards, and I'll create space for myself for a day or two after to replenish. But this is a priority, even though it doesn't feel good, or even though it scares me, or even though it's triggering, because I have the opportunity to be my big, true, open-hearted, authentic self and hold myself in that, even if other people don't like it, or if they're not used to it, or if it triggers them. Oh, the holidays, man, I opted out of a lot of holiday stuff several years ago, and I've been slowly dosing myself back into like family traditions and expectations because it's just too much. And people didn't love that. Like, family members didn't totally love that. And I feel great. I feel great about it. I've made it my own and what it means to me rather than blindly following what's always been done. Story of my life. Okay, what else is important about December? We've talked about expectation and obligation, your true north, let yourself contract. If you miss the contraction, if you miss squeezing the juice out of the contraction, you could miss this next catapult moment and you're just gonna loop in it again, so be aware. What else? Okay, I feel like some of you are feeling lost. Like, I don't know my direction. There's all these options, or I don't see the options. It's either like I'm completely lost and I don't see anything, almost like a snowstorm and you just can't see through it. In that case, hunker down. Just hunker down. You don't need to trudge forward through the snowstorm and try to, like, just stay where you are and be warm and wait for it to clear a little bit. Some of that clearing might be your mind. Actually, a lot of that clearing might be your mind. Like, just certain beliefs you've held for a long time, or just certain perspectives that you've held for a long time, fogging your vision. They're showing me like talking in the mirror and it fogs up the mirror. And you're like, but I'm speaking so clearly and I'm looking myself in the eyes, but it's getting all blurry. It's like you're too close to it. You need to back up a little bit and create some space for yourself, for the dust to settle, and for you to see where there's certain perspectives that you've looked through for a long time that just don't add up for you anymore. They just don't add up. And it might be scary to let some of those go. What are these perspectives related to? I'm just hearing love and family. Like, there's a lot of perspectives you've held about what it means to be a good mom, dad, daughter, sister, brother, aunt, family member, friend, a certain role in your life. It's like there's a certain lens that you viewed that role through that you now have a chance to break out of, because it's been keeping you confined and in this like obligation like box. It's been keeping you in a box. And it's just interesting. I'm seeing like an aunt with a niece. That's so interesting. And it's like there's certain parts of your personality that you haven't fully shared with this niece or whoever it is, but that's what they're showing me. There's certain parts of you, or like little bits of magic, or yeah, like things that you keep to yourself. But like this little kid, this niece, this grandchild, this daughter, and I'm seeing a little girl, but it could be anything. is really ready to see this side of you and to feel this side of you because it's activating for them and they can meet you at that level. It's like there's a soul connection. There's someone in like your family friend unit that you haven't fully shown your true self or a certain side of yourself, and it's, ooh, now's the time, and there's going to be an opportunity to, and you'll be aware of it. You'll be aware of it because, again, it feels like a younger person, a younger cousin or something like that, where they experience the world similarly to you. They feel or see things similar to you, but they don't have a model for it. They don't have anyone to look to for that. And so you sharing this side of yourself or this piece of you is really life-changing for them because it models something that they feel to be true but don't fully understand, or maybe don't feel seen in by their immediate family or, you know, the people in their life. But you are like a ray of light for them. So wherever you're like, yeah, I go see my family, but I don't talk about this, or I don't show them this. They don't get it. They don't understand. That's fine. I just keep it to myself. Look at where you do that and look around the table. If you're all at dinner, look around the table. And you'll be, if you look for it, you'll be able to point out, like, they get it. I can show this to them. It might trigger everyone else. They might not get it, but this one, I can tell in their eyes. We're going to make eye contact and we're going to click in on that. And it's a really powerful moment for both of you because you get to model your truth for someone and they feel safe in it and see themselves in it. And you get to see that you can be your true, authentic self and how it is of service. Not just to yourself, but to the people around you, potentially in unexpected ways. I just feel like there's people in your immediate life, in your family, like with the holiday season, with gatherings, with whatever. It's like I just feel like there's somebody that will get you that you didn't anticipate. Or will like click in, relate with you on something that you didn't expect. Or people might reach out to connect with you in ways that's really like an olive branch. Like they're really putting out their hand. And so look for where people like, hey, you want to come do this? Or hey, you want to like step in the other room? Or hey, you want to come to this thing with me? It might be an opportunity, even though it might not be like the thing or event or place or whatever that really calls to you. It might be them putting out their hand to connect with you in a way that you ultimately want to, that gives you an opportunity to connect deeper. So just look for that and just be aware of it. Where normally you'd be like, no, thanks, not my thing, not for me. It might be like a, you know what, I'll go sit outside and smoke a cigar with you. I'm not a cigar smoker, but yeah, let's go do that for a minute. And be able to meet in that environment that might be more of a safe environment for the other person and gives them the sense of safety to open their heart a little bit more for y'all to deepen your connection. So just be aware of those little moments and opportunities. All right, what else? Okay, we're going back to the snowstorm and the contraction. Thank you. So again, for some of you, it might be like you have shit coming up and you've got to go in. Do not resist it. Go in. Call in support. Ask for support. You've got to ask for it. I guarantee you there have been people that have been waiting to be received by you, but they're not going to offer support if they don't feel like it's received. When you ask for it, you show somebody, I am open to receive from you. And then it feels good to give to you. But if you go to someone with your problems and it's just always about problems and you try to offer solutions, and they don't feel really receptive to your solutions, you're probably not going to be like, oh, I can help you even more. They don't even feel receptive to these little bits in conversation that I'm trying to help with. I'm certainly not going to try to pour my energy more into somebody who isn't open to receive it. No way. And so if that person is you, well, you might not be aware that you're blocking a lot of support. So ask for it and then be open to receive it. Okay, what else? What else about the contraction? I feel like there's another group of people with the contraction. Yeah, again, I'm just hearing head down, blinders on, which is where I've been for a while, but it's related. But yeah, head down, blinders on. Notice where you might be distracting yourself. Distracting yourself from dropping in with yourself, from tuning into yourself, from listening to yourself. A lot of us right now, it's like you unconsciously choose to loop in the mental stories even though you're stuck there because it's comfortable. Whereas if you just say enough, like enough with the mental stories, I'm dropping into my heart right now. I hear the mental stories, that's great. Like, I'm shutting you off for a moment. Let me drop into my heart and how do I feel? And let your heart lead. Let it go against some of the mental stories and the programs and the beliefs and it has to happen this way, or if I do this, then that needs to Let it go. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. So this internal battle between the mind and the heart is strong right now. And there's lots of opportunities available, but you're not going to be able to take the opportunity if you're too busy battling. Then all your energy is focused on this internal battle rather than tuning in and saying, all right, what is my mind saying? What is my heart saying? Let me really trust and have faith with my heart. Let me use what I'm feeling to then go rewrite the beliefs and the stories about it so that my mind and heart can be on the same page. And then you have clear direction. Then you know what steps to take. Then you know the direction that you're walking in and you can be supported in going in that direction. But some of you are just like looping in your own chaos and complaining about it, but not doing anything to get out of it because you are so comfortable looping in your chaos. You are so comfortable hanging out in your wounding when you can really use this time to step out of it. But you have to let yourself go into it to then get through it. And that happens through the heart. That happens through tuning into your heart, through feeling what you're feeling and letting the heart lead. I'm just hearing self-imposed chaos. Self-imposed chaos. Look at where there is self-imposed chaos that just doesn't need to be there. And like where you're busying yourself. Where you're, they're taking me back to what feels 10 lifetimes ago for me. But like when I first left corporate, I left finance to do my business full time. I was, because it felt like there were so many things. And I would just spiral out because I felt so overwhelmed when really, if I could just center myself and then look at it, only 2 or 3 of those things actually needed to be done. The rest were just keeping me busy because for me, busy made me feel important, which made me feel valid, which made me feel loved. Like busy equals success, success equals worthy. That's what I rewrote because I noticed that that's what I was operating on. And that's what I'm seeing here too, is look at where you're creating unnecessary busyness and what's it actually costing you. For example, if you go Christmas shopping and you go to 6 different stores, you get all this stuff and you're like, yes, my shopping is done. And then like you get a coupon in the mail and then a sale over here and then whatever. And you're like, oh, I could go back to 5 of the 6 stores and get a price adjustment and save $50 overall. I'm going to go do that. But then it's okay. You're going to spend how much on gas? You're going to drive all around town. You're going to be fighting traffic. You're going to end up spending an entire day doing all of these things to get a $50 refund when it's costing you, I don't know, $15 in gas and all of your energy and an entire day, what's that $50 really worth to you? What's that busyness really worth to you? Where you could have just said, I'm done. That feels great. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee and listen to music and wrap my presents and read a book and have a leisurely, lovely, fulfilling day. That's an example. Look at where you are creating unnecessary busyness because our culture tells us that you're supposed to. And how can you just get rid of it? Like, it's just not needed. And so, again, that circles back to fill yourself first with whatever percentage of energy you feel you need to pour into yourself to feel full. And then that excess energy, look at where you want to allocate that. And notice how many things fall off of the priority list and actually leave you feeling better and more fueled and more fulfilled. Okay, anything else for December? I think that's a message for me, not y'all. What? Why? What is that? I'm I feel like this is for me, not for y'all, but okay. That would be okay, so side note, when I'm channeling, I usually get like an image, but I don't get more of that image until I start speaking. Like so much of my channeling just comes through as I speak. So they'll show me something, but they won't give me any more until I start speaking on it, and then I'll start seeing the bigger picture. So that's what's happening. So I'm just seeing you like you're doing your thing and you turn around and bam, like you run into somebody. And it's this message of what's for you can't miss you. What's for you won't miss you and it can't miss you. So let go of control a little bit. Stop trying to plan and analyze and figure it all out. My God, let it go. Let it go. If there's something that you're trying to figure out, or yeah, if there's something you're trying to figure out and it's like taking up mental space, give it up. Give it to God. Give it to your angels. Give it to your guides. Give it to your higher self. Outsource it. Outsource it. I cannot tell you how much of my life I outsource, and I am a better person for it. Outsource it. And then when it comes back into your mind, say, that's already outsourced. That's being handled in the higher realms. Not mine. Not mine to deal with. Thanks for coming back on my radar. I'm giving it right back. And let yourself be supported in that way. Because your guides, your angels, your teams, the unseen, there's the universe itself, like, is available to do this. They're weaving on your behalf, but give it to them to weave. I laugh because it's something I say a lot, like, weave. Whenever I want to give something to my guides or outsource something, I'm like, weave it for me. Just weave. And my friends laugh at me about it. So weave, let them weave, give them the things to then weave and then deliver the finished product, deliver the plan, deliver the solution, deliver the next step, deliver the thing. But stop worrying yourself and frenzying yourself. Like at this point, you're just doing it for fun because it's just not necessary. It's not necessary. All right. What else? Exciting announcement. Next year, I'm going to be launching the Oracle Collective, which is a live monthly channeling call. It's a membership site with a live monthly channeling call, my living library of over 100 guided healings, activations, integrations, rituals, etc. Like it's the crown jewel of my work. And a community site where we can share our experiences, ask questions, post questions for the live Q&As. I'm so excited about this. This is how I can really be with y'all more intimately. So get on the wait list linked below to get a special price when we launch early next year. Get in now, get on the wait list. What else do I need to say about that? If you like these videos and you like my channeled transmissions, I want to invite you to sign up for the waitlist for the Oracle Collective. It's a membership site that we're going to launch early next year that has a vibrant community aspect. You can ask questions. I'm going to do live channeled Q&As, live monthly channeling calls, and you have access to the Living Library, which is over 100 of my channeled healings, activations, attunement, integrations, rituals, you name it. It is like the go-to place for both your expansion and your contraction. It's so you don't have to hold yourself in the moments when you need it the most. You don't have to book a healing session for next week. You can just on an app, go listen to a healing, go do a journey while you're in the bath, while you're in bed, and really facilitate rapid shifts in the moment. It is the crown jewel of my work. It is truly remarkable. And if you're on the wait list, you'll be the first to know about it when we launch, and you'll get a special waitlist price. So I really wouldn't miss it. Also, thank you for being here. If you liked this video, if it resonates, please put in the comments how this is landing for you. I read all of the comments. And like, subscribe so you don't miss a video. It really helps me and helps these messages get to more people when you share them, when you subscribe, when you like them. So I really appreciate that. And I will see you in January.